Who dictates the value of your life? Is it the people around you? The ones who watch, judge, and define your worth based on what you wear, how you speak, or what you post? Is it society with its ever-changing standards and expectations? Or is it something deeper? In a world where every action is analyzed, every opinion amplified, and every mistake magnified, it's easy to feel like your self-worth is in everyone's hands, except your own. But what if I told you that everything you need to reclaim that worth already lives inside you? Let's challenge a dangerous idea today, the belief that validation must come from outside. What you're about to hear isn't just motivational fluff. It's revolutionary, it's ancient, and it's deeply, uncomfortably true. Welcome to a journey into Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us this. Your true value doesn't come from applause or criticism. It comes from within, the trap of external validation. Let's unpack something that affects all of us, often without us even realizing it. The trap of external validation. It's subtle, it's persistent, and it's everywhere. We live in a culture that thrives on feedback. Likes, follows, comments, tiny digital tokens we've come to associate with self-worth. But have you ever stopped to ask, who gave them that power? Stoicism, a philosophy born in ancient Greece and Rome, dares to ask that question, and its answer is radical. Your worth isn't a scoreboard others get to keep. To the Stoics, external praise and criticism are mere indifference, things outside our control, and therefore unworthy of our emotional investment. Your value, it lies in your virtue, your courage, your wisdom, your justice, your temperance. Imagine living in a world where your peace isn't disturbed by someone's comment online, where you don't crave a like to feel seen, where you aren't performing for society's approval, but living for your own truth. That world exists. It's the world the Stoics lived in, and the one they invite us to rediscover. Think about it. How often have you posted something and then immediately checked for reactions? How many times has your mood been dictated by someone else's opinion? That dopamine hit is real, but it's fleeting. The high doesn't last, so we chase it again and again. This cycle is not just exhausting, it's disempowering. It pulls you further away from your inner compass and deeper into dependency on the world's validation. But here's the hard Stoic truth. When your happiness depends on others' approval, you've surrendered your power. You've built your identity on shifting sands, and every opinion becomes a storm capable of tearing you apart. So what's the alternative? Freedom through inner validation. The Stoic solution is clear. Turn inward. Build what they call the inner citadel, a fortress within yourself, guarded not by pride but by principle. This doesn't mean rejecting all feedback. It means recalibrating its weight, recognizing that applause doesn't define your worth, and neither does critique. Freedom comes when you understand this. You can exist joyously with the approval that comes from within, grounded in your own values and actions. When you choose internal validation over external applause, everything changes. You begin to act with a deeper purpose. You stop molding yourself to please others. You reclaim your autonomy. This shift won't happen overnight. But when it does, you'll stop being a performer on someone else's stage. You'll start living a life directed by your own script. Self-worth from within. Now let's take this further. Stoicism doesn't just encourage self-reliance. It redefines what it means to have worth. In today's world, worth is often transactional, tied to performance, attention, looks, or accolades. But Stoicism flips this idea on its head. Your worth, the Stoics believed, is intrinsic. You don't earn it through praise. You don't lose it through failure. It is rooted in your character, your ability to live with virtue. Virtue, in the Stoic sense, means aligning your actions with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's not about being perfect, it's about being principled. Let's get practical. If you want to build real, unshakable self-worth, ask yourself these questions every day. Am I acting with integrity? Am I doing what's right even when no one's watching? Am I growing in courage, reason, and honesty? This self-reflection is what Stoics practice daily, often through journaling or silent contemplation. Not to judge themselves, but to clarify their inner compass. Through this practice, you learn that your worth isn't tied to what others say or see. It's tied to how you live when no one is watching. It's self-generated, and it's self-sustained. The courage to be yourself. At the core of Stoicism lies something even more powerful than detachment: courage. What if the hardest moments in your life weren't setbacks, but invitations to become unshakable? What if every heartbreak, failure, or rejection wasn't the end of your story, but the beginning of your becoming? This isn't wishful thinking, it's Stoicism, a 2,000-year-old philosophy forged in the fires of adversity, designed not to escape life's struggles, but to master them. In a world that rewards comfort and convenience, the Stoics ask us to do something radical, to welcome difficulty, not because pain is noble, but because pain is necessary. Necessary for growth, clarity, and the kind of strength that doesn't crumble when life does. Stoicism doesn't offer a shortcut to happiness. It offers something far deeper: resilience. For the Stoics, resilience isn't just enduring suffering, it's transforming it. It's the discipline of looking pain in the eye and saying, "You will not break me, you will build me." It begins with perception, seeing life not as something happening to you, but something happening for you. Every experience, no matter how difficult, is a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more grounded in your values. And that shift, from victimhood to empowerment, is the first step toward unshakable resilience. So how did the Stoics build this mental strength? First, they practiced daily reflection. Journaling wasn't a hobby, it was training. They asked, "What did I do well today? Where did I falter? How can I improve tomorrow?" This kind of radical honesty builds a mindset where every mistake becomes feedback. Every failure becomes a lesson. You stop fearing setbacks and start using them as stepping stones. Second, they mastered perception management. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." How we interpret events shapes our experience. If you see obstacles as unfair burdens, they'll break you. But if you see them as tests of your character, they'll forge you. That's the Stoic edge. Pain still hurts, but it no longer controls you. Then comes premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Imagine the worst before it happens, not to panic, but to prepare. This practice trains the mind to be steady when storms come. You're not blindsided, you're battle-tested. Seneca once said, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming." Visualizing adversity makes you more resilient in reality. You stop being fragile. You start becoming anti-fragile, gaining strength from the very things meant to break you. But Stoicism is not just about surviving pain. It's about living on your terms. In a noisy world filled with opinions, pressures, and comparisons, the Stoic path is quiet, focused, and deliberate. It's the courage to walk your own path, even when it's unpopular. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire, yet wrote in his journal, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." He reminds us, a life worth living is one guided by virtue, not validation. This is what it means to focus on your own path. It's not about isolation. It's about integrity. It's not about rejecting advice. It's about discerning what aligns with your values and having the courage to live it. The Stoics believed in amor fati, the love of fate, not just accepting what happens, but embracing it as necessary. Every loss, every hardship, every twist of fate is part of your training. Because resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. One decision, one response, one moment at a time. So how do you apply this in your life? You pause before reacting. You reflect before blaming. You choose principle over popularity. You let adversity polish you, not poison you. And most importantly, you take ownership. You stop waiting for life to get easier, and you start becoming someone stronger. That's the Stoic superpower. In the end, this philosophy isn't about enduring life. It's about mastering it. So ask yourself, will I let circumstances shape me, or will I shape myself? Will I chase validation, or live with virtue? Will I be shaken by the world, or grounded in wisdom? You get to choose, and that choice, repeated daily, creates the resilient, grounded, unshakable self you've been searching for. This is the Stoic path. Walk it with courage, walk it with clarity, and walk it knowing that every obstacle is not in the way. It is the way.